Hello and welcome to Stitches and Slapdashery Slowvember Day 5. What's on the menu for today? Plan a knitting project to enjoy over the winter or continue with a work in progress. Well, I don't have a knitting work in progress, but I do have a plan for a granny square project. So what I will do is I'll pull out the Lion Brand Heartland from my cubbies over there, and I will put them into a tote bag with an appropriate crochet hook. So before I choose the bag I'm going to put them in, I'm going to have to see how much yarn there is. Here are my yarn cubbies. They're a lot emptier than they were at the beginning of the year because I did quite a bit of stash busting. But I do have a little collection of Lion Brand Heartland in this cubby here. And I bought quite a bit of the black recently. You may not know this, but I have a little incentive plan going on for when I do my workouts. When I've done my 3 workouts for the week, I'm allowed to buy myself a ball of yarn. I'm currently owed 2 more balls. So I bought some black so I could put that around the outside of the granny squares. There's only been 1 week when I didn't credit myself with a ball of yarn, because when we were away in October, I did do a bit of exercise that Wednesday that we were gone, but it really wasn't a proper effort. So I didn't count that one as a proper workout. So I'm keeping myself honest. Anyhow, this is something I invested in not long ago. It's called the Granny Square card deck, and it's the official one. There's apparently a whole bunch of cheap knockoffs out there, so you have to make sure you buy the original one. It's by Claire Montgomery, and definitely get the original one. And in here you have 50 granny square designs, which all work up to the same size. And I thought maybe what I could do, rather than use the Heartland just to make a whole ton of basic granny squares the same, I could pick some of these and work through them. I doubt if I'll make all 50, but there's a lot of them there, and each one has a chart on the back. Can you see that? So it's all charted, and I think I can manage that. I haven't done a lot of charted crochet patterns, but I think I can figure that out okay. So let's see what we've got in here. Let's move my little chickens out of the way. These are so cute. They were from a very informal pattern by someone on Ravelry in, I think it was the Crochet on Ravelry group, and they posted a very basic pattern for chickens, and I made them in 3 sizes, which was a lot of fun. They're going to have to go down there for a minute. Okay, so what have I got? I've got 3 balls of black there. Oh, that's my leftover Lion Brand respun, so let's throw that in there for a minute. Red Heart Super Saver, don't want that. This is all the Lion Brand yarn here that I did a review on a while back. Still haven't used it up. This is the sock yarn. I started a pair of socks, never finished them. Fingering yarn or sock yarn, or 4-ply maybe you call it, definitely not one of my strengths. I don't have the patience for it. Again, I bought this beautiful Hobie. Hang on, it was from Hobie, but it's Universe Christmas. Had it for a few years, very thin, still haven't used it. Okay, so we've got this one. I'm going to have to put my reading glasses on now because I need to read the labels. So the black shade of Lion Brand Heartland is called Black Canyon. This gold shade is Canyon Lands. And, oh, this one has lost its label. Not that one. I'm not sure what the red is called. I may find the label when I dig deep enough. Oh, look, there's another ball of black. So I have 4 balls of black. I have 2 balls of Yosemite, which is a nice rust colour. And I have a partial of Rocky Mountains, which is quite a nice soft green. There's another green in this range, which I think is slightly darker and also rather lovely. Oh, this blue is probably my favourite of the Heartland colours. I seem to have lost the label on that one too. I have a grey, which is Great Smoky Mountains. I have 1 plus a little bit of Kobuk Valley. I don't know if that's how you say it. Some of these places are, well, all of these places are based, or colour names are based on places in the United States, which in turn are based on Native American names. So, yeah, I don't always know how to pronounce them. And it was a beautiful, like, turquoisey one. And, yeah, I can't remember the name of that one either. So I have quite a pile of yarn. So now that I know how much yarn I've got, and the fact that I'm owed a couple of balls of yarn might mean that I'll add a couple of other colours to this. I'm going to need a tote bag to keep it all in. I think this one's going to be big enough. I made this a while back from upcycled denim. And it took quite a long time to get that front section made, because that coloured section under there is a whole rectangle of scrappy fabric that I built up. And then I put the denim over the top with the holes cut out. So it was just like a peekaboo scrap bag. And then there's a lovely scrappy pocket on the back. I can't remember what I lined it with. Oh, I just lined it with a rather lovely neutral, which looks kind of denim-y as well. And there's a pocket in there, just the one pocket by the look of it. And it's a good size. So let's see if I can stuff all the yarn in. You can see some of the beauteous mess of my sewing room now. All right, I'm going to put all the black along the bottom, I think. And then the colours on the top. Now, I don't know why I bought the grey way back when. I think it was just because I think the yarn was on sale a few months back, and I just thought it would be something I would use. But to be honest, I don't know if this grey is going to make it into my granny squares. So far, so good. Of course, if I start making a massive pile of granny squares, it always takes up more space once you've turned the yarn into something. So I may have to graduate to a bigger bag, or maybe have a second bag for the finished squares. Well, look at that. It's absolutely stuffed. So let's put the granny square card deck on the top. And then I will go through my crochet hooks just to see what size. What are they recommending? Interesting that they recommend 5.5 needles, but 6mm crochet hook. Now, I have crocheted myself a sweater with this stuff, and I can't remember what hook size I used. So we will grab, oh, where's my 5? Ah, I know where my 5mm is. It's in my dishcloth work in progress. I'll pull the 5 and the 6 to put in the bag. I may end up using a 5. Lion Brand Heartland, they call it a worsted weight, number 4, or medium, but it's quite thin, I think, for a worsted weight. There we go, that's what the pocket's good for. Put the crochet hooks in. It does have a magnetic snap, but there's no way the snap is going to do up with all that yarn in it. So I thought I'd make a start on one of these granny squares. I have to keep an eye on the time today because I have work later and I needed to stop off somewhere on the way. So I don't want to be too long here and make myself late for work. I could start with a really basic one, couldn't I? Or maybe one with a interesting middle, perhaps. That might be a bit too interesting. Oh, I quite like that one, where you start with a round and square it up later. We have a yarn bar situation on the black, but we will work with it. Right. Rather appropriately, I'm wearing my granny square sweater today, which was a total coincidence. I just love it so much, I wear it a lot. So that's what that looks like. This chart translates into this granny square. Obviously, I've made it in completely different colours from the original, and it's not blocked. I don't tend to block much. With acrylic, I usually just join them all together and then throw them in the washer and dryer, because these guys especially should all work out pretty much the same size, because that's how they're designed. Got the Let It Snow mug out. Is that going to make it snow? It already is snowing up in the mountains, and I saw quite a nasty photograph of the mountain pass between here and Vancouver, and there were trucks and cars in ditches and everything. So winter is coming. Let me just show you the crochet And then I have to dash because I really, really do have to go out shortly. So the Snowfall slipper socks, I'm very glad to say I'm done with the bobbles. Oh, the bobbles are a nightmare. Look at them all. And each one has its own little stretchy yarn. And I could have ignored the designer's suggestion and I could have stranded it, or I could have figured out maybe how to do it without cutting the yarn each time. But I decided to do what I was told in the pattern and do separate length of yarn for each one. So as you can see, there's lots of tails to sew in later. But I decided I was only going to do 3 rows of bobbles or rounds of bobbles because doing 6 as per the pattern would have driven me insane. The other sock has gone a little bit further. So I've actually done this bit, which is the part for the heel. So what you do is you skip over the heel and you leave a hole, which you then go later and fill in with the heel. So after finishing the last bobble and the last 3 rounds here, you do a half round and then you do a foundation single crochet with, interestingly, more stitches that are actually in the space. As you can see, it's actually bigger than the cuff. So we're working now on this top area here, which will create the foot. And this part is going to be the heel, which will be filled in later on. I'm feeling a little happier about those guys now because I was not enjoying the bobbles one bit. I pushed through the pain. I got to the other side. Okay, I'm going to say that's it for today. Do let me know in the comments if you love making granny squares and if you're making anything with granny squares right now. As I say, I have no plans for these. I don't know what this will become, but it's just such a lovely ongoing project. And I'm going to enjoy testing out different designs rather than defaulting to the same old granny square over and over again. It'll be interesting to try the different kinds of squares in that box. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you again tomorrow.